But yeah, I mean, you know, I thought it was monumentally stupid that they were doing this.
The characters for that run, did they say free reign, pick all the schlubs you want?
No. They basically said, hey, want to write X Factor? And I went, hell yeah! I mean, Cyclops. And then, well, they said, no, there's a little problem. You're not going to get any of those guys. And I said, what do you mean I'm not getting any of those guys? And they said, okay, you're going to be getting Multiple Man, and you're going to be getting Guido. I'm going, Guido? And he said, yeah. And they're like, oh my God. Actually, the thing that made me take the book, aside from the fact that it was writing an X book, so it's decent exposure, was that Rain was going to be in it, because I always had a real love of Rain, because it goes all the way back to the fact that I named her Wolfsbane. She was the first character I ever named. I was in Louise Simon's, I think it was Louise Simon's, her office, and she was the editor at the time. And Chris was there, and he was having trouble coming up with a name for Rahne Sinclair for her heroic name. And he was describing, what he wanted to do with her to Weezy, and I was in the office because I was coming there to get solicitation information, because at the time I was Marvel's assistant direct sales manager, and that was one of my jobs, to get solicited information. And I said to Chris, look, if turning into a wolf is the bane of her existence, why don't you call her Wolfsbane? And Chris went, ooh, I like that. So, like I said, I always have that kind of feel for the character. But yeah, I really liked Jamie. And, my attitude was, he's going to kill off somebody with X Factor. Why killing off the one person who is more or less, most people, aside from the occasional 14-year-old boy, is going to think that there's no way that he's dead. I mean, death is fluid enough a concept in the Marvel Universe, much less killing off someone whose whole shtick is that he's always coming back because he's out there somewhere. There's always another Jane going, ha ha, psych, I'm actually over here. So yeah, I totally agree with you.
Would you have killed Guido?
What?
The way you just said, oh, Guido, was that the one you were least excited to deal with?
No, I was just kind of going, Guido? I mean, because, the notion, in the old days, right, when you were starting up a team, you would start up, particularly when you're dealing with pre-existing characters, I'm not talking like the FF. When you're doing a pre-existing characters, the concept was simple. You took all the strongest characters, and you put them into a book so that all the readers would come and buy that book. So you have the team books, and you have Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman. It's the Justice League, and everyone's going to come to flock to buy it because chances are you're going to hit the Superman fans will buy it, the Batman fans will buy it, the Wonder Woman fans will buy it, the Guido fans will buy it. Yeah, that's the thing. So when they restarted X Factor, it's like, we're going to take the strongest X-Men characters, the ones that people have always had a love for, and that's who we're going to bring back. And we're okay, we're going to be doing X Factor. And this was so far away from the concept of the strongest characters you could get that you can't even begin to describe it. We're getting the characters. You know how the old thing, because you demanded it? No one was demanding it. One more team book. It doesn't mean I didn't like the character, and I mean, I grew to love each and every one of the characters, but no one was begging to see Guido in an ongoing book. Well,
it's funny because that's the more modern way of putting together team books. It's like, what C, B-list characters can we pull together to a team?
And have Peter David write.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, I think it's time to move on to our first section, which
we want to have Wolverine in this book. Well, Christ, don't like David anyway. That's too high-powered
All right, first thing we're going to talk about, we're going to keep talking to you, Peter. She-Hulk.
Well,
latest issue, Black, number 26.
Yeah.
She-Hulk 26.
Yeah.
So this is a title that you're returning.
We got one up here too, so it's he's waving his copy.
There you go. We're doing a mirror game with the audience. So, what brought you back to this title? I mean, was it just...
I wasn't really back on this title. I never wrote this title before. I take that back. I wrote one issue of She-Hulk. There was a fill-in issue back, during the Byrne run, or the aborted Byrne run before Byrne ran out and then ran back in. But this was actually, and I've written the character a couple of times during my run on Hulk, but this is the first time that I've actually written the ongoing title.
Dan Slott's on the show a couple times. His run was fine, but when you took over, I was like, finally She-Hulk's good, and he is mad at me.
I loved a lot of what Dan did. I thought he did a fantastic job.
Yeah, he got very.
I mean, he's really
complex.
He's really a tough act to follow. I mean, because he had such a unique vision for the book, and if I tried to emulate what Dan's doing, it's gonna suck.
Yeah.
So I knew that I was going to have to take it off in a different direction, and I knew that was going to piss people off. And the thing is that I was actually talking to Dan about this, and he really brought up an incredibly valid point. And like I said, I'm attributing this to Dan, and I think it's absolutely right. That the way he described it, Thor fans know what they want. They want Thor to beat the shit out of people with his hammer. And they may argue, well, he should beat the shit out of bigger guys, or he should have beaten them up faster, or whatever. But they're of one mind. She-Hulk fans are all over the sodding place.
Yeah.
You've got some She-Hulk fans want humor. Some She-Hulk fans don't want humor. Some She-Hulk fans want us to start breaking the fourth wall again. Others will stop buying the book if we break the fourth wall again. Some people want her to be the Savage She-Hulk again. Some will stop buying the book if we ever even bring up the Savage She-Hulk. There's no uniformity of view of what the fans want the character to be. And that indeed may be why, the character's had a troubled sales history.
Yeah.
Because we keep pleasing segments of the readership. But then we keep losing segments of the readership.
Similar to a character like Supergirl, which you also wrote.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's the same thing, where there's so many different interpretations in it. People are pissed. I mean, people love your run, and other people hate it. I mean, that was a much kind of maligned run, but I feel like this run's a lot like that. Maybe because the characters are so similar in that way.
Like the Supergirl one?
Yeah.
Well, I suppose, a character who's trying to find answers and that kind of thing.
And going out and doing something, like going in a different direction.
And it kind of makes me nuts that, I think she's being, don't get me wrong, I think she's being handled well in other books. And she's kind of all over the place. But it kind of makes me crazy that she's hobnobbing with Tony Stark and Reed Richards and all the people who fucked her over, sometimes literally, and her cousin, that kind of thing, as if everything is okay. Women don't forgive that.
Tell me more about this
it's like you could be having an argument with your significant other, and she is going to suddenly bring up shit that you did 4 years ago that she has still not gotten over. And you're going, where did this come from? They really, they may forgive, but they never forget. And the concept that She-Hulk is that quickly fighting side by side with Reed and Tony Stark, and it's like, it's making me a little crazy. And I suppose the other aspect is that in She-Hulk, I have her going through a great deal of soul searching, and because this is someone who was screwed over by the system, right? The system that she trusted, the system that she has spent her whole life believing in, both the system of justice and the great superhero society.
So much of the Hulk arc was about her literally being screwed over.
Yeah, exactly.
So
and so it makes me nuts that some fans have said, well, it doesn't matter what happens in this because over in other books she's already fighting side by side with Iron Man. It's like, yeah, but I'm getting it right.